Welcome back. My next guest is from Ardmore, Oklahoma. He's a man that keeps me safe in the pocket. Please welcome Brayden Bryant. This video is sponsored by Aztec Link and their official content branch, the We Believe Network. The We Believe Network is a subscription-based platform that allows viewers to get access to exclusive Aztec content. That money is then reinvested back into the program to create NIL opportunities for the athletes themselves. Enjoy the video. What's up, buddy?
What's
Thanks
up,
for
man? How's it
coming
going?
on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, but I just want to start to, let people get to know you outside of football. So, growing up in Oklahoma, did you grow up in like a small town, or what was it like where you're from?
Yeah, so the town I grew up in is called Ardmore.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the southern part of the state.
Okay.
I'm actually closer to like Texas than I am and just to some like Oklahoma, like towns in Oklahoma.
Okay.
It's considerably small compared to San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
I think like my town has around like 30,000 people. So
Gotcha.
so coming to San Diego, it's been a change of pace,
Mm-hmm.
but no, it's been good. I'm really enjoying it.
Nice. Do you have a big family, or what's your family like?
So most of my dad's family lives like up north in the Chicago area.
Okay.
And then my mom's family lives in like North Texas. So it's pretty big, but like most of my immediate family is pretty close.
Okay. Awesome. Now, your high school that you went to, I know you said you're right there by Texas. Was it like the typical Friday Night Lights, like the whole town shuts down for the games, or what was it like for high school football?
We did pack out our stadium pretty well.
Yeah.
Like we were pretty good going through like my high school career. We were pretty good, so a lot of people wanted to come out and watch.
Okay.
But there were several surrounding schools that were in the area that kind of took people away. So, but yeah, I would say for sure, like we had a pretty big stadium, so it was, I think on average, it was probably around 5,000. So it was good. Yeah,
that's
it was
a good crowd for high school, especially.
Awesome.
What was like your guys' rivals? Who did you guys pack out the stands the most?
So our first game of the year every year was against this town called Ada.
Okay.
It was called the Battle of the Cats.
All right.
We were the Ardmore Tigers and they were the Ada Cougars. So,
okay, cool.
Yeah, so I'm 4-0 against them my high school career. So it's so we won. There's a trophy that you get and stuff like that. So it's a really cool experience.
Nice. Yeah, our rivals are. I went to Norco, and our rival was technically Corona because it was Norco's North Corona.
Mm-hmm.
But just the competition we weren't quite the same. So our rivals was really Corona Centennial, and that's where I went my freshman year. So after I transferred back there, every time we played it was like revenge game.
Right.
And I remember my sophomore year, our coach giving us a pregame speech. And he said, "I'd sell my soul to win this game." And I got goosebumps. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this really means a lot."
Yeah.
And then my junior year, we got them. Senior year, they got us back. So it's always fun having the rivalry games, like all the hype and stuff building up to it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Did you play any other sports going in high school or before that?
So I grew up playing basketball and baseball and football. I played everything.
All three, nice.
Yeah, I actually transferred to Ardmore my 8th grade year. Mm-hmm. So I went to a smaller school where I could play everything. And once I got to Ardmore, I just focused on football. And I did track and field. I threw shot and disc.
Okay.
That way I could still lift like throughout the whole year, because if you transition to other sports, like their weightlifting program, it wasn't as like in depth as it was for football.
Basketball is more of a stamina sport
right. And I got tired running up and down the court, so I'm done with basketball.
When did you call it for basketball?
Probably my 7th grade year.
7th grade.
Yeah, I was starting to grow into my offensive line body, and I was like, yeah, I'm probably done.
Yeah, that's solid. Yeah, what were I'm not really familiar with numbers for shot put and discus, but what kind of numbers?
Yeah, so I was actually fortunate enough my junior and senior year, I won state for our class in Oklahoma. So I think my farthest was like 55, 11, 56, something like that.
And how heavy are they?
I think it's either 8 or 12 pounds. It's something like that. I don't know. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, it was an awesome feeling.
State champ.
Yeah, it was an awesome feeling. It was really cool.
That's super cool, man. My next question: if you could go pro in any sport besides football, what would you go with and why?
Man, I'd probably go baseball. Baseball, just because the contracts that some of those guys are getting, you're guaranteed. There's no salary caps or anything like that. So I'd probably do baseball for the financial side of it. But also too, like I haven't swung a bat in forever, but
Yeah,
I feel
no,
like if I got a hold of one, it might go over. So
all or nothing.
yeah, so we'll see. I might try to DH.
I like it. I like
Yeah.
it. I might go maybe golf with it.
Oh yeah, I
Play
forgot
it.
about golf. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Play it till I'm like 60.
Yeah.
Just easy, easy on the body. But yeah, man, that's cool. All right, bro. Oh yeah. So outside of football, along with other sports and things like that, what's your favorite, go-to activity? Are you a show guy, a movie guy, board games? What's your go-to?
So I'm not a very big video game or like I'll play board games, but
Mhm.
with video games, I just kind of get bored after a while.
What
So
about the NCAA game? Are you gonna be on that one?
I'll definitely play
I
that
think
one a
you
little
got
bit.
to,
I
yeah, a
got to.
little bit.
It's been so long since we've had one, so I'll
Hmm.
probably dabble in that a little bit. But I think one of the things for me is like I love being around like family.
Hmm.
So like I haven't like in my whole career I've never really been close to home. So once I'm kind of away from football and stuff like that, I like to send a couple FaceTime calls to my mom and dad, my little sister, kind of catch up with them, see what's going on with them, and then if they're busy or I'm done talking to them, I like to just chill, like watch movies or
Yeah,
uh, I'm big on like sunsets. I love watching the sunsets. It's
yeah.
kind of like it's amazing seeing how like pretty everything is.
Have you
So
been to Sunset Cliffs down here yet?
I haven't. That's
No.
one of the places I
What
got to go
about
to.
just over on campus at Storm Hall, where you can see the view from there?
No,
Dude, all
I'm
right,
gonna have
we'll
to.
go after meetings today.
Yeah, we'll have to go.
We could write that down. Yeah, dude, there's a cool Sunset Cliffs. There's a couple different places where you could just pull up and park right there, and it's pretty sweet.
That's awesome.
Speaking of SD spots like that, what are some of your favorites? I know you haven't been here too long that
Hmm.
you've checked out, but you got any favorite spots so far?
I would say so far world famous.
World
Yeah,
famous.
we
That's
went
in
there.
PB, right?
Yeah, it's in PB.
Yeah.
I went on my visit, and then I've went one other time,
Okay.
and it's awesome. It's right by the beach. Like kind of like you just look out, look at the water, and
Mm.
food's really good. So I would say that's probably number one. And then one of my boys came down from LA that I went to JUCO with,
Okay.
or to my JUCO with, and we went to an Italian spot in Gaslamp. I can't remember what it's called, but
Probably like Little Italy
yeah,
area.
it was like in the
Uh
little
huh.
Italy area, and it was really good. I
Yeah.
wish I could remember what it was called, but
There's so many. Yeah. There's
yeah.
some good ones down there. How about have you checked out La Jolla, like the seals yet?
No, so my dad flew in to surprise me for my 23rd birthday.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
So we kind of went around like sightseeing a little bit. We went to La Jolla.
Hmm.
We didn't get to see any seals, but I've been to La Jolla. It was a
You,
cool
you checked
experience.
it
Walked
off.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wrote some down. It's a little shout out for the viewers and also for you, man. We
Yeah.
gotta go. We should get a group, dude. Let's go. Let's go Sunday. Get the O line again.
We'll have to.
Yeah, I know we did the little O line barbecue. Was that last weekend?
Yep.
That was a lot of fun. But just anytime the whole squad's together. All right, so we got La Jolla, Liberty Station. Have you been to the food courts down there?
I haven't.
Oh, dude, the guys have a field day.
Yeah.
It's like there's probably 30 different restaurants, all from like different parts of the world. So like you could get one person could get barbecue, the other person could get ramen, you could get Mexican food, like it's everything.
That's
So that's a cool
awesome.
little spot, and it's by the water too. And then Belmont Park at Mission Beach. That's like,
Okay.
have you seen the roller coaster over there?
Uh huh.
Yeah, yeah. So they got like arcade games, um, like carnival games and stuff too, like little food spots. It's cool. Sunset Cliffs. You probably haven't been here for baseball season yet, huh? You haven't, have
I
you been to
haven't.
Petco?
No, that's one of the things me and Nate were talking about.
Mm,
Wanting to go experience that
yeah.
and
Oh, I
stuff
think
like that.
opening day is March. I think it's coming up. Yeah,
Really?
yeah. I think it's early March or middle. But the cool part, like if you don't worry about parking and like driving downtown, is I think the
The trolley goes right down.
trolley on
Yeah.
campus is like $2 or something like that. You can just
Yeah.
hop on and cruise over.
That's
And
awesome.
then my last one I had was North Park's a cool area. They got every I don't know, I think it's like the first Saturday of the month or something. They have like these little like pop up markets, things
Yeah.
like that are cool.
I think I've been around there, walking around there a couple
Hmm.
times, and it's a cool, neat little area.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, how has it been for you adjusting, like being in San Diego, a spot where it's like on campus we're not in the city, but
Hmm.
there's definitely a lot more going on. Like, do you miss being back home, or do you like it so far? Or how do you feel about it?
Honestly, I love it.
Yeah.
It's a good change of pace.
Hmm.
It's I was worried about the traffic and worried about like
Yeah.
the driving and stuff like that, but honestly, it really hasn't been that bad.
Hmm.
Uh, I enjoy the kind of fast pace, and it's a good change of speed. Uh, I do miss back home just because of my family.
Yeah.
But other than that, like it's nothing that has been super drastic.
Will you get to go home for spring break?
No, I think I'm gonna stay around here.
Okay.
It's just so far away.
Yeah, that's an
Yeah,
expensive flight, I'm sure too.
right. So I think that little break we get before like when finals, and then before we start like summer workouts, I'll go home, see the fam for a little bit, and then come back.
Got you. That'd be nice, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just I want to ask you a little bit about your football journey,
hmm
recruiting process and things like that. Just after senior year, just kind of walk us through.
Yeah. So uh, I was always told I was pretty undersized, which I am an undersized offensive lineman to play at the FBS level. Uh, the only FBS offer I had out of high school was Air Force.
Okay.
So I took that. I went to the prep school there, was there for about 6 months, and then I academically failed out, so I had to leave. And then from there, I went to a junior college in Kansas. It's called Butler. Shout out Buco. And I loved it. I was there 2 years, made some of my best friends, learned a lot about myself, learned a lot about football. And from there, I went to the University of North Dakota.
Okay.
I was there for 2 years. I was fortunate enough to get my bachelor's degree there. And then in January, I got to San Diego State.
I wanted to ask, who did you feel like really pushed you to pursue your dream to go play college football, or did you feel like you were really, self motivated, or is it a combination of both?
I think it's a combination of both.
Mm-hmm.
The support from my parents has been insane.
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't be where I'm at without them. From all the camps they drove me to in high school, to the the shoulder to cry on, the hug, the support, the uplifting, the things that they told me that I always didn't want to hear but needed to hear.
Yeah.
And then I think a lot of it was, I think probably not a lot, but I would say half of that too was self motivation.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of having the chip on my shoulder of like, being told that like, oh, you can't do that, and wanting to prove that person wrong, or
Yeah.
kind of prove myself right, was probably my driving factor. Was, I wanted to, take the burden of, having to take out student loans, or
Mm-hmm.
to depend on my family to pay for college.
Yeah.
And I knew that, football would be that avenue for me.
Awesome. Yeah, I felt pretty similar to what you're saying. My
Mm-hmm.
parents were, they did everything for me, like camps, teams. I lived in Norco my whole life, but they sent me to Centennial because at the time, all of the buddies that I had chemistry with from playing youth ball were going there, and they were the program to be at. And then they helped me transfer when that wasn't the right spot. Like they'd done everything for me. So
Mm-hmm.
them, and then I've also had some great coaches along the way. But the self motivating part, like you said too, is I felt like they were always there to push me and to help me, but they never wanted to burn me out.
Right.
So like sometimes they would be hands off, and then I had to tell myself like, okay, like you got to do more. Like they're giving you a break because they don't want to overdo it, but like you gotta do it yourself. But
Right.
I feel like that's helped me a lot. Who were your favorite sports teams growing up?
So growing up, football wise, the Dallas Cowboys. I'm still a big Cowboys fan. I mean, used to heartbreak, but Cowboys fans. And then growing up, like college wise, I was a big
Okay,
Oklahoma
yeah,
Sooners
of
fan.
course.
Just because, I mean, it's an hour up the road.
Mm-hmm.
They're a fun team to watch, fun team to support. I mean, they're predominantly good all the time, so
Yeah.
it was fun going to some games there, and doing some stuff like that. I was actually, I think it was my fourth grade year, like a fourth grade. I was fortunate enough to be like a junior captain, so I was able to walk out, do the coin
On
toss.
the field at
Yeah,
Oklahoma?
yeah, yeah.
Dang.
It was an awesome experience. So something I'll remember forever. Uh, was able to do that, go tailgate, and do all the kind of VIP stuff that you typically normally wouldn't get to do.
Yeah.
So it was awesome.
That's so cool, dude. I think about that too because like anytime I see kids like reaching for high fives and stuff at the game, like I know, like you're telling this story right now, like I
Uh-huh.
know they're gonna remember that stuff. So I always
Right.
get excited whenever I get to toss my towel in there and stuff, and then I gotta apologize to Kevin when I ask for another towel again the next game. But that's super cool, man.
I've
What?
been I've been losing my towels at practice every day, and I got to go in there and, hey Kev, I need another towel. Like, I don't know where it went,
He's
but
so cool about it,
yeah,
but it always feels like, oh man, I'm sorry.
yeah.
Don't want to be that guy. What about specific players like growing up? Did you have someone that you tried to model your game at after specifically?
um, I wouldn't say like necessarily like, so growing up, like it's kind of funny. I always wanted to play defensive end.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
that's actually where I was fortunate enough to receive my first offer to play like
Okay.
college ball was to play defensive end. So I would say like JJ Watt, like
Nice.
that's an easy guy to look after just
Oh, for
because of
sure.
how dominant he is. So, but I would say as I got older, uh, I liked watching like Trent Williams, like Jason Kelsey, like
Hmm.
those guys that are just day in day out, very like consistent and very like hardworking,
Hmm.
and it shows on the field. So I tried to model a lot of my habits and the things that I do after them.
Yeah, and then Kelsey too was one of the guys that didn't everybody say he was like undersized to
Yep,
play NFL center, and then
yep.
now look at him, he's
He's
gonna
gonna
be
be a
a
Hall of
Hall of
Famer.
Famer. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
for
sure.
sure.
That's awesome. I always looked up to Tim Tebow and Andrew Luck were like my guys,
Yeah.
man. So that's like Stanford was my dream school growing up because of Luck,
Uh-huh.
and then Tim Tebow, like just his leadership and stuff. I had his book growing up, I had his jersey,
Yeah.
all of that, and then like a little bit later, Johnny Manziel, just because how exciting he
Oh yeah.
was throwing up the money and
Yeah.
stuff. I think I wore number 2 one year just for him. I wore all their numbers.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Um, those were always the ones I looked up like whenever I was a little kid. So
That's awesome.
yeah, man. So after football, like say you go pro, you play, you retire.
Mhm.
What does life look like for you ideally?
And so I really have the itch to work in the nonprofit field.
Okay, awesome.
My dad's a police officer. He's a first responder,
Hmm.
and I would really like to help like first responders and veterans with like the mental side of life that they face with, like the situations they've seen and the battles that they face every day. So whether that's working for a nonprofit that specializes in that, or one day hopefully starting my own to where I can do that that would be starting my own would be like kind of the ideal dream. Uh, but yeah, just working in the nonprofit field, like I feel like I was put on earth to help people,
That's awesome.
and I think that's what I want to do.
That's super cool, man. As far as your major, are you majoring in psychology or something like that?
So
Like,
yeah, so I'm doing the 1 year master's program at
okay.
State. It works out perfectly
Hmm.
with like I'll graduate with that in December
Okay.
and can kind of go from there
Hmm.
with what I want to do. So I was able to get my undergrad in public affairs, so I kind of I took a lot of nonprofit management classes with that too. Uh, so yeah, it's kind of all working out.
Nice, man. When do you think you kind of felt like that's where you wanted to go? Like, did you know that at a pretty early age, or is that something more recent?
No, it's definitely more recent. I'd probably say my junior year of college.
Okay.
I always wanted to do something in business.
Hmm.
Uh, I bounced around in the beginning with psychology. Was kind of always like intrigued with like the human mind and how things work. Uh, and then I would say once I got to North Dakota, I was like, I want to do something in business, and
Hmm.
I could always fall back on the psychology and kind of go from there.
Yeah.
And then I would say my junior year was like when I was like, what, like that sounds really interesting. That's really kind of where I feel like I'm being led to,
Hmm.
and so yeah.
Yeah. I kind of had a bounce around in major as well. I came in thinking I wanted to be a mechanical engineer,
Okay.
which is awesome if you could do it. But I took one semester of those classes, and we were designing, like we had to design a machine on the computer through like the computer aided design program.
Hmm.
And I would spend like an hour designing like a screw. And I look over and the kids next to me have like the entire thing built. I was like, dude, if this is my competition to get a job, it's not gonna go great.
Right.
So I ended up switching over to business as well, like you. And actually, my goal coming up, I think I'm shooting for probably next summer, 25, is I want to start a nonprofit as well to help give sports equipment to kids that can't afford it or can't get it.
That's
So
awesome. That's really
thanks,
cool.
man. I
Yeah.
kind of had the idea because I train the quarterbacks, on the weekends, and I
Uh-huh.
saw you out there training
Yeah.
O lineman as well. So if you guys need some O lineman training, hit up your boy. Um, but I had one kid who never has his own ball, and
Hmm.
so I asked him, I was like, "Hey, do you have one?" And he said, "No." So I have a bunch of old ones, and it just felt so cool, and like they're so
Yeah.
appreciative. Um, I think also because we're college athletes, so anything that we give them, they appreciate even more.
Right.
And so I feel like that's kind of where I feel like I can give back to. So I've been talking to Greg Camarillo.
Hmm.
I know you talked to, yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Greg and Athlete Academy. He has his own
For sure.
nonprofit where he also helps out kids. So He's been a great help with things like that. But yeah, man, that'd be awesome to see you continue working with that. Do you think you'd want to stay California, move closer to home, or do you not really have that figured out yet?
I know for a fact, like once I get done with ball,
Mm-hmm.
I would like to live out here for a little bit.
Okay.
Just kind of experience it in its full. It's so pretty. It's so gorgeous. Like the only thing is it is super expensive.
Yeah.
So I think ultimately I'd like to end up in Texas.
Okay.
It's not too close to my like hometown, but
Yeah.
it's far enough away to where like I don't have that feeling, and I'm close enough to my family to
I know
where
exactly what you mean. That's like coming here. It's like an hour and a half drive home
Mhm.
for me. So I felt like I wasn't still in my hometown, but I'm also close enough to like go back for birthdays.
100%.
I know what you mean. That's
Yeah.
cool. You got a city in Texas particularly or no? Still
Honestly,
looking
like
around?
I'd love to live in Dallas. Like
Okay.
I grew up going to Dallas all the time, so I'd love to live there. Or I think like while I'm young, Austin would be a lot of fun.
Okay, yeah.
Or even like San Antonio or Houston, somewhere like that, or even even like a smaller town
Mm-hmm.
that's like not as big as like the metropolitan like Dallas or Houston and stuff like that. But not I don't have anything pinpointed down where I would want to
Yeah.
go, but I just know Texas is probably where I want to end up at.
Gotcha. I know Austin is like the new comedy hub, like Joe Rogan.
Oh
All
yeah,
those guys move
yeah,
out there. Are you a big comedy guy?
love comedy.
Stand up? Okay, dude.
Yeah, I find myself on reels too much watching funny stuff, and I gotta you can set the screen time on your phone.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
gotta you gotta put yourself in
yeah,
timeout.
yeah, for sure.
I know what you mean, dude. I've been watching Theo Vaughn and Drewski just had a
Oh
podcast and
yeah,
stuff. These guys make me laugh, bro. Maybe that'll be our next another O line event. Get all the boys out to laugh.
we got to.
That'd be fun, bro. Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on, dude.
Man,
It's
thanks
been
for
fun
having me.
talking to you, and excited to get back out on the field.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thanks for tuning in. Want to give one more quick shout out to our sponsors, Aztec Link and the We Believe Network. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and check out the link in the description to get started today.